All right, welcome back to the podcast. I'm gonna do the second day of this podcast with a morning reflection, since it's technically still morning. So, let's see. So it has a daily morning reflection and a daily evening reflection. The quote is by Eckhart Tolle. It is, rather than being your thoughts and emotions, be the awareness behind them. And the second chapter is called Be the Awareness. So, so just a general question of today's intention. I kind of need to I'm still kind of getting things back on track. See, it's like when I take days when I'm off track, then I start getting on track. It's like it's gonna take some days. Last night I couldn't sleep because I had all that coffee late in the afternoon. But because I had the coffee late, I was able to stay up late and get a lot of work done, which is good. I don't know if I'm supposed to be resting or not. Like, I'm kind of just going with the flow. So Saturday, Sunday, I didn't do hardly anything, I don't think. And it was kind of forced. I think it was Saturday morning, I had an edible at like 7:30 in the morning or something. And then Sunday, I don't remember Sunday too well, in all honesty. But yeah, the intention for today, still continue some of the stuff I couldn't finish last night. I'll get more into that. And just, making healthy choices. I ate a late brunch, so with the late meal, it wasn't that light of a meal, honestly, but it'll probably sustain me till like 1:30 or so. As I was eating breakfast or brunch or whatever, I took a little break watching Judge Faith Jenkins. I think I've watched all the episodes pretty much. I skipped the ones about the pets and the ones about car accidents because it's like those aren't really themes that I want to watch, but it's a little bit educational and thought-provoking just to see how the cases are either won or lost, and like trying to see like, okay, do I think this person is truthful or not or whatever. And they're short episodes. The episodes are about 19 minutes, and then some of them have 2 episodes in one, so about 10 minutes each, or about one like 19-minute long episode. So that's pretty cool. And so I just kind of watched that. It kind of gets the gears turning a little bit, but just to kind of think a little bit, but with a little bit of entertainment. And then kind of wrote down what I'm going to be working on for today, so I'll get into that. It says, today I'm grateful for freedom to be able to kind of do my own schedule, work on my own projects. It's been a long time, waiting between work and like during work, after work, before work, trying to like squeeze in all this type of stuff. But I'm basically trying to get my income streams rolling so I'm not dependent on a 9 to 5 income. I mean, I do intend to work a 9 to 5 potentially, but I want to see how this pops off. Today's to do, it says today I will achieve. So I'm still working on my tax stuff for 2022 taxes for my just write-offs basically. As far as my store is concerned, I think I'm just more learning today. It's going to be more education based. Last night I was learning a lot about TikTok's rules of what do you call it? Like when you're posting certain types of items, like what types of things would interfere with the ads. So, basically I was kind of studying like how to write ad copy, types of ad copy that gets banned, certain ways to word information about what you're selling. They don't like anything that's medical products, and I was kind of brainstorming, not necessarily full planning, but brainstorming more so about hemp product sales. I think I'm gonna get a license. If I'm not mistaken, in California the license is still $15,000. But I'm trying to grow the income from the store first, or other projects, like the combination of products, to get the license to be able to legally sell different hemp related products. And it's a long story, but basically that's one of the goals I have, is to be able to sell those products. At the moment I'm not I don't know, like basically I would have to get like a wholesale product, but I haven't done any research on products. I specifically know what type of products I would like to maybe white label or even resell. I don't really mind either, like a kind of retail arbitrage, or just white label, like brand my own. But I think the ones I would like, I prefer like CBD, CBN, like high CBN, CBD, no melatonin, maybe if any THC, like a little amount, like maybe 1 milligram, maybe even half a milligram, because it's really hard to find products that aren't, heavy THC, because I know, I think most buyers prefer the THC, but for me, trying not to have too much caffeine in the mornings, which I'm also kind of this is part of the morning brain dump as well, how I'm feeling this morning, just kind of stuff that's on my mind. But basically, for me, trying not to have a lot of caffeine in the mornings, if I have if I have any tonight, I mean, if I have any at night or like THC, it does improve my sleep. It's a good sleep aid, but THC and melatonin both leave me a little bit groggy. I prefer the CBD, CBN, especially on days when I know I'm going to be busy the next day. If I don't want to use caffeine, today I had the remaining last few sips of the Vietnamese coffee, so I'm kind of good to go for today. I'm debating if I'm gonna order more coffee. I'm kind of feeling like, for me, the issue is when I don't sleep enough, because today I was able to kind of relax more into the morning. I didn't really actually get up to like 9, which is late, but it's like, you guys know me, for years I've been waking up at like 5:30 in the morning. So like, at this point, who cares if I'm waking up at 9? Like, I was up a little earlier, but I went to sleep like after 2 and woke up around 7 something. And I was like, let me not push. Like, it's Tuesday. I was up late, and I was actually busy up late, studying, working on the store and stuff. I got to the goals of what I need to be making. Through the class I was taking, I learned a lot about sales cadences, and I've talked about this before, maybe on another pod, but about how to kind of reverse engineer a process. So I don't know if I need to go into all these details, but if I'm nerding out, let's do it. So basically, calculating, I'm not going to give the exact numbers because somebody else right now I hired out someone else to do the product work for me. So right now, let's say, for example, if I know that I want to make a total daily amount on orders, let's say that I know it takes 20, I have to make 22 sales at $44 each sale to hit my goal per day. Let's say per day, ad revenue expenses for TikTok ads is, let's say it's $336. Let's say that approximate total sessions that people view my products, even if they're not buying them, is about 600 people. So say it takes 600 people viewing to get 22 orders. That's basically how you do the math. And then you subtract out what you make total from those 22 orders. You're subtracting out the ad revenue expenses for that day. You're subtracting out the cost of whatever the item is that you buy. So say if it's $20 per order, if it costs you $20 and you're selling it at $44, then you're making back $24 per order. So that would be 24 times 22 is what you're actually making. But then, from that, you're also subtracting out the 336 in ad revenue. If the daily hours are, let's say, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and then you want to determine your ROI, your return on investment for that specific day, and then you just do the math every day. So key tip is, once you make the money for that day, you're basically scaling. So I was learning about vertical and horizontal scaling. Like, you don't want to dry up, so you don't want to just pump more and more money into the items that are selling. If you have multiple items, that'll dry it up because you're putting all your ads on one. Like, you have your own TikTok page and you're putting all your TikTok ads on TikTok through that page. So eventually that's going to dry up. So you can only really invest so much money. You don't want to scale only that direction. You want to scale the other direction as well, as in, finding products that actually you can sell and scale. So it's like an ongoing, changing environment. But you're also, in my opinion, it makes more sense not to spend money that, for me, for example, I'm only spending money that's free money. So, for example, my previous job, that I was just at until the end of December 2022, I was only spending stimulus money. They weren't all checks. Some of them were debit cards, but stimulus money and quarterly bonuses. Now, I didn't invest all that money. I saved a lot of it back. Some of it goes into podcasting. Some of it goes into, just fees, like hosting fees, like domain name fees. If I pay people to write, do SEO for me and all this kind of stuff. But I also learn from what they do. So I kind of see what they do. And then I kind of try to understand what's happening once they do it, so I don't have to keep paying people. But some of the stuff is like new to me, and other stuff it's like right now there's a lot that I know how to do. It's just I don't want to take the time to do it. I started this project back in September. It was September because I remember talking about like doing a Halloween sale. I thought I would have things up and running by Halloween, and then I realized, I need to focus on studying and focus on ending out this job. So it took me a couple months to end out this job. It took me almost 3 months to end the job. And, I was already burned out by that point, so I didn't want to be like screwing up at work, because I wanted to end, on a very good term, which I did do, so that if anything goes wrong, I always have a backup that I could always go back to this job, back to this company. They'll always hire me back. They didn't even want me to leave, but I was like, guys, I want to buy a house someday. I have financial goals, and I think when you put it that way, everybody kind of understands, like, if I stay at that job, there's no way I'm going to ever afford any of that just on that income source alone. And I was testing myself to see how much energy I could manage to use before and after work, and it just wasn't cutting it. Like, I need at least 5 to 6 hours a day, like, of pure energy, not just like rushed before work and I gotta log in, it's 8 o'clock, and then after work when I'm extremely exhausted, can't even think, just kind of like, let me like, smoke a bowl or like hit a vape pen or something, and then I'm all like not even like fully, you guys have heard the podcast. When I'm under the influence, I'm not really doing the absolute best. So as far as like quality of content, and sorry, I know I'm talking quietly. Other family members in the house are working, and I'm trying to be respectful and not be noisy. So I'm trying to talk right by the mic on my cell phone and hoping that I'm not being too noisy. I found out that the t-shirt site that I was wearing, that I was using, doesn't exist anymore. So I'm debating if I'm gonna link that, make new shirts and link those, or if that's just not something I want to design. I'm probably not gonna market them anyways, but for me, I don't mind paying for marketing. I don't mind creating ad copy, promoting my own ads. I know how to market. That's something that took me, it's not rocket science, but it took me like probably a year and a half to learn marketing. But I want to see where my skills lie with all this stuff. before I go run into a 9 to 5. I want to see how I can scale up the content I've already developed and the learning I've already done. So yeah, right now I'm just learning about scaling processes. The market is crazy right now. Stock market's crazy. Drop shipping is crazy with the sales, with like, retail arbitrage, like buying and reselling items. The shipping's crazy. A lot of stuff we have is made in China, in the US, and that for me creates a bit of an issue. I am trying to take like ethical routes, and I do hit like roadblocks where I'm like, I don't really know who's making these products. That kind of bothers me because I want to know, like, are they being treated humanely? Like, I'm not trying to like employ some enslaved people that aren't getting paid. And I'm not saying all of China is like that, but it's like, I do have to question, when I see certain items being sold, like if there's an item sold for like $5, on like AliExpress for example, and you see it, in the US being sold for like $60, it's like, how do they make it for $5? But it's not really $5 per item, because you have to buy in bulk, like maybe 100 items to get the $5 price or whatever. If you buy one item, it might be like $20 per item. So it's not really the low cost that it actually says unless you buy bulk. But then once you get to the point where you can afford to buy bulk, then you're basically making a lot more profit, so long as there aren't really returns. And then also, just trying to recycle the whatever your return is on the investment after subtracting out all the expenses, your full return. You got to calculate out the taxes as well. I might do quarterly, I don't know. I used to do a lot of eBay stuff, and I got screwed with taxes. I wasn't paying attention on how much I was making, but apparently it must have been a lot, because I owed a whole lot of money, and I was like shocked. I was like, it kind of actually put me a little bit into debt for a period of time, because I owed so much in taxes and I wasn't saving back for those expenses during April. So that's something I learned from. And yeah, just overall, that's kind of how I'm rolling with things. Just trying to be patient and not spend my savings money, not spending. I still have some income. It's not a lot right now, but I'm not trying to spend my savings on this. I'm dipping into basically like I said, the bonus money and the stimulus money that I set aside for these types of projects. It's just I had invested some of that. So I lost some of it too in investments. I didn't expect them to be short term, but I'm like, okay, let me pull this money out and put it into something that I can like see results faster. I'd rather drop a few $100s every so often on these projects than lose it, in the stock market at the moment. These online stores are an expense. eBay is, in my opinion, probably the easier way to get online sales. If you don't deal with scams and returns and all that, eBay, in my opinion, is probably easier in a lot of ways without the expenses, but they do take a lot of fees. There's a lot of fees involved with eBay. Same with Mercari. Same with what's it called? The other, I think it was OfferUp that I used to use. So basically on my list for today, things to achieve, those are basically things that I was doing last night. Like, that's why I was up past 2 a.m. And then, working on my taxes, working on the store. As far as the store, I'm still kind of like researching on my end and studying about the researching and marketing for the niche that I'm in. It's not a niche that I'm too familiar with. I'm more familiar with like smartphones, laptops. Those are kind of those are my bread and butter for a while. That's how I partied for like 4 years straight, was just basically making money off of, reselling, iPhone 6, and some of the Asus gaming laptop, just motherboard replacements. But some of those parts are harder to get. They're a little bit obsolete now, and nobody wants to buy an iPhone 6. And so I didn't really keep up with learning, and I didn't want to invest more money in different phones to learn them well enough to fix them, or different upgraded laptops. Like, for me, I'm not a professional at all this, but like, I have to have the actual item to, disassemble it and learn it, so that if I'm going to repair other ones, I kind of know what I'm getting into. So that's kind of how I study, hardware, is I take it apart. But like, nobody wants to buy a brand new, like, $2,000 gaming laptop and rip it to pieces, Like, I'm not that confident. Like, I don't mind taking the broken ones, but yeah, I'm not that confident. I need to figure out what's going on with my name servers. So I'm gonna go online and do like the live chat to see if they can fix my name servers. It might just be a 48-hour issue, so I might have to wait till late tomorrow. If I can't, but I'm gonna try to do it today, because I think it's something else. And then I need to do what I'm planning for some of my retirement investments. I'm kind of moving money into different fund accounts. I don't know if I want to do that today. But you can tell I like to focus on money, and not like in a weird, I feel like it's not really, like, I'm not even making money specifically to buy anything. It's more like learning the process now with the economy as it is, because I haven't had enough time and energy to really focus down on like what I need to do, because I've been working at the job that was like so taxing that I didn't have the energy to really do it. But I'm kind of learning more. The classes I've taken are really helpful. Really, the consistency and organization is the most helpful thing. I know kind of my target. I know what my targets look like. I explained all of it, but nearly 600 sessions. I need 600 view sessions on TikTok, equaling about 22 orders at $336 to reach the first goal. on a $20 item, on a $20 per item. So I'm okay with that. And I got a lot of studying to do. I think tonight near 10 p.m. that's going to be one day. I think I have 4 more days after every 10 p.m. for the next 4 days. Because today's going to be the first day. So every night at 10 p.m. that's going to equal one day. So it's going to be, today's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So Saturday night, I should be live. So basically I need to learn what I need, and I need to have at least one test day. So I need to have a test day Friday, maybe Thursday would be better, but a test day Friday, and Saturday I need to have everything kind of ready to roll. So yeah, and I think, let me see what day it is. So I think, I don't know when my last, I'm kind of losing track. I think my last payday was December 30th. So I do have another payday coming up. Let me check, because I get a little confused. I'm kind of thrown off with my days because everything's kind of blending together, because I got a little off track. As far as my schedule, let's see. Yeah, I don't know if this episode's boring. Yeah, December 30th. Was my last check. So that means this Friday, meaning Thursday, I get another check. Meaning I'm actually going to take out of that check, because the bonus should be coming too. But I'm going to actually take out of that check. So, I'm going to take out the money from that check in advance for, basically for ad revenue. I'm writing those myself, and then, so yeah, if it comes in Thursday, that'll be fine, and then Friday will be, Thursday will be fine, and then Friday the 13th will be a test day, and then let's see, I'm missing something. Friday's gonna be a test day. Saturday's gonna be live. Saturday night anyways. But I'm gonna take Saturday off in the daytime. And then Saturday's gonna be live night. Saturday night's gonna be live. And then Saturday Night Live. And then I'm kind of planning this on the fly right now. Yeah, Saturday's gonna be live. I don't know. Maybe I should make the test day Friday or Thursday, because the money will be there. So I don't know. I have money in other accounts, and it's just annoying that I do it that way, because when I transfer it over, it takes like multiple days to transfer. So that's why it's gonna have to come out of the direct deposited check from one account versus the other account that I have for a business account. The money's still transferring, and it's not going to be available till probably around Monday the 16th. Oh shoot, this weekend I'm going out too, so I forgot about that. Yeah, this Saturday I'm gonna go out, and I'm seeing Landon Cider, Drag King. So shoot, yeah, I'm gonna have to pre-plan on Friday. Pre-plan everything to be posted Saturday night, and then Sunday is going to be review, live post, and then also an evaluation day Sunday to determine what I'm going to do for the next week. It's going to be just like analytics tracking. I mean, I think my work schedule is better if I'm not really working Friday nights and all of Saturday, and then Sunday I wouldn't mind working. But I think my social activities are going to kind of get in my way, because the next few, days like that, the next few weekends, I have a lot planned. So I don't know, guys. We'll see. But, my social plans are a priority too. I can't just like ditch my friends to be like working on this stuff. But anyways, the next question, why am I feeling this way? Like, how am I feeling? Why am I feeling this way? Feeling fine. I kind of have more direction with what I'm doing. My mind last week was pretty jumbled, and this week it's a little less jumbled because I'm kind of doing what I need to do, but I'm not really in a rhythm of things. I won't be for a while. And then why am I feeling this way? Because, I did rest a lot. It really helped. How can I continue this feeling if wanted, or shift if not? I want to basically give myself a buffer for things not working out well and for having to troubleshoot. That to me is exhausting. It's one thing to learn things and for things to just linearly progress. That's what I prefer. But with this type of stuff, anything tech related, if it's software related, internet related, hardware related, I always run into roadblocks, because I'm learning this stuff on my own. Like, I mean, I've invested in 2 sets of classes totaling, let's say, about $750 worth of classes in 2022. It kind of got me to the level that I'm at now, that I'm pretty confident with what I'm doing. And I see results, honestly. I always see results. It's just the part to me that tends to be the biggest barrier for me to reach where I need to be is multiple things. The consistency, I need to work on that. Because I'm used to, like I mentioned, I'm used to making money just to party. It's like, okay, my income was low before, and so I was like, well, I'll just make money on the side, and then that's the money I'll use to go out. So unless I was going out, I didn't really go out of my way to make money, and I wasn't really putting a ton aside to save. Some of it I did throw into my retirement. A lot of it I didn't. A lot of it I lost in the retirement fund because of the crazy economy. A lot of it I lost in other investments. They were shorter term investments. I didn't have the patience to hold with some of it, just because in my head, I'm like, this is faster. It's faster to make money this way. I'm more willing to invest in these types of processes than rely on the stock market fully. I'd rather take more control over the investments. So this is my method of doing that. Basically trying to replenish all the investment money that I lost in the last year. I already cashed out all my crypto. I don't remember when, but it was a long time ago. And most of my money's in mutual funds, indexes. And so basically I've been pulling out a little bit of, I don't know, I don't want to explain all this. This isn't, I don't know if people want to hear me talking about this. It's just random finance stuff. But basically, I like thinking about this kind of stuff. Because in a way, it's if I'm losing any of the money, like I mentioned, it's all from money that I got for free in the first place. None of it's from just a regular earned wage. And so I'm just reinvesting it this way instead of investing it in the stock market and waiting 5 to 10 years. I feel like I can build this in faster than 5 to 10 years. I mean, the amount of work that I did September through December, I'd say September and October, because November, December, I kind of just stopped. But I was doing a lot of podcasting. I was at the least I can do podcasting. And then, yeah, but this year I'm kind of testing new content. I mean, I know, I've been on here with all this direct queer stuff. This is kind of more indirect. I'm working with this book, like I mentioned, Jaime Messina's book, queer author, who's a neuroencoding mindset coach, and I'm working through this workbook. And so, like I said, I don't know if I'm going to post this for 30 straight days, but at the moment, I don't really have much to post because I'm not doing anything. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going out that much. I don't want to spend money to go out and, but yeah, I'm gonna get to work for this late part of the morning. Those are the things that I will do, the things that I had just mentioned. And things that I, want to focus on. There's the daily evening reflection, about what my favorite part of the day was. I mean, it's not evening yet, but I liked waking up with energy and had some interesting dreams. And one of them was weird. I was a landlord or an RA or something, and I had tenants, and it was in an apartment type complex, and there was this young family. They were all females and African American, and had maybe 2 kids, and they had messaged me. I was supposed to be meeting them for some reason or another, and I met them, and briefly, but I had walked out of my unit with my shoes off, and met them. But it was late, because for some reason they would always message me way early, and it was late, probably 30 minutes late or so, and I wasn't rushing to get to them, but I wasn't really ready yet, because like I knew that they were coming late, so I don't know why I had walked out without my shoes on for some reason. Went over to them. They were, like I said, okay, just a minute, I'll be right back, because I was going to go back and get my shoes, and somehow ended up getting lost, because I had come up through, like, this back parking lot area, and, you know, I knew it was going to take them long. They were, like, unloading the groceries, strollers, car seats, stuff like that. So as they were unloading all the stuff, yeah, they were unloading everything, and I was just like, they're gonna take a while. So I went back up to find my unit for whatever reason. I think I was just gonna go back and get my shoes, and I couldn't find my way back. I ended up, you know, trying to go different routes. Couldn't really find my way back, and I was like, I might be taking a little long. I ended up climbing this place where there were like these narrow kind of steps where you have to like go over this like ledge. The steps were really narrow, but at that point I was wearing my shoes, and was just trying to get back to where they were at, because I was supposed to meet them for some concern that they had. But I guess I was familiar with them because I knew that they kind of like would run late and like message me, and I was thinking, okay, maybe I should just text them or call them or whatever, or ask somebody where to go. And there was some guy up on the top of this ledge that was also climbing up, you know, so I followed him, and, you know, I was like, he better not like block my path when I'm up at the top. And, you know, he was kind of like chatty, and I was just kind of like, in my head I'm like, move, because I need to like get over the side of this like ledge. So I just kept moving, and he kind of like moved out of the way, and we went in through like a sliding door, like a glass door, or one of those automatic doors, some kind of like tinted glass door type thing. And we ended up being like backstage at like a university like performance of some kind, or church or something, where there were like all these weird like curtains, multiple like curtains, and like we were backstage, and there were people like preparing to do whatever they were gonna do, and I was like, oh my gosh, like how do we get here? I don't know where he went. And then I was just like, dude, like what is this, like where am I? And there was like an audience, and then I was like I was still behind, you know, but the curtains were like moving in the wind. They weren't like the solid like actual stage, like the solid like thick curtains on an actual stage. They were like really like flowy curtains, but they were like sealing the floor just about, and they were like moving, and so on occasion you could kind of see through the curtains and see that there was like an audience. And I was like, what's this performance? I might want to like watch it. And I don't know, I think I woke up, I never really got back to what I was doing, but yeah, that was a dream I had at like 7:00 in the morning. So I don't know, I like dreaming, and that was kind of fun. And then I guess the rest of the day I'll focus on 5 things that I did accomplish, 3 things I'll do tomorrow, who I'm sending love to tonight, and end of day thoughts. So that's pretty much where I stand with things. If I seem kind of silent on here, that's why. Is because my brain is filled with all this other stuff. I don't like being completely not busy, but I am trying to pace myself and not be like overwhelming myself. But I'm I'm pretty sure if I'm patient, I can kind of make this work. I'm not trying to do anything like too extreme, but the studying part for me, with the analytics and everything, that's going to be probably the part that I might have the most trouble with. And so I guess I'll see how it goes. But this is kind of what I'm doing now. But like I mentioned, I don't want to work so hard that I'm exhausted. So I'm in the middle of a lot of stuff. Excited to get to work on this stuff, and yeah, it's not I don't know. I'm hoping I'm not spreading myself too thin. Like, to me, all of it is combined as one thing. But it's really hard to kind of keep the ball rolling. Without like, I don't know, I'm kind of following other people's methods here. And so far it's going fine. I'm not having major concerns. Yeah. So I guess we'll see. I mean, only time will tell. But I guess we'll see how everything unfolds itself. And I'm reevaluating the coffee thing too, because I think mostly when I'm stressed, coffee's not a good idea. But I'm noticing the last few times I have had caffeine, because I can kind of pace my energy and I'm not like being bombarded by like distressed client calls and, just trying to work off of what my company needs from me or what my clients need from me. I can do what I need for myself. Like last night I was all like pumped up and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna wake up early and go swimming at the pool in the gym, and like nah, that's not gonna happen. Not right now. So I think that's everything. But yeah, this is a different kind of content. I don't know if people like it. It's not my normal flow on this channel, but I think I've been more dedicated to this podcast than the others, and so I don't want to not post. But it's either I post what I'm doing, which is this, or I don't post anything. So right now I'm gonna have to debate between keeping the content relevant, strictly relevant. I feel like it's vaguely relevant, but it's not like directly relevant right now. But really the book is helpful. I like workbooks. I like books that kind of help me to kind of organize, because as you can tell, I am not the most structured person. Like I'm focused, but kind of like a scattered focus. I don't have a very high stimulation lifestyle, so I can basically sit in the same spot for ages and kind of work on stuff. This I kind of was looking at things last night. What does it look like? Down payments on a house, like whatever. The things that I like have as necessities that are gonna come up. I'm still debating if I want to get a rental property first, or if I want to get my own place first. But pretty much for years, the past decade or so, I've focused on, living a frugal lifestyle, and in a way it's kind of paid off. I did kind of screw up my credit over time, but it's now back in a good standing and getting better. So my credit's decent now. Like, I would qualify for, getting a car, getting an apartment, like whatever. And I don't know, all the money's where I need it to be. I just have to be smart and patient at this point and not go all like wild and start buying a bunch of stuff. Right now is time to invest. From what I've saved from, it's like, for me, savings aren't necessarily to buy more stuff. Savings are to reinvest from what you gain from it. I'm trying not to make it into a gamble. I mean, it's like legit, like thought out. And I'm just scratching the surface the way I talk about it on here. Like, if you see my books of numbers and things, like, it's all written out. This is all like strategic. I have a calendar with this strategy. I have a notebook that's got like daily kind of like I mentioned, I have like a cadence to things, but because they're multiple levels, like with different streams, it's, I kind of work on what I want to work on when I feel like it. But some of this other stuff is going to have to be routine. I'm going to have to get into routine, fulfilling orders. I'm going to get to a point where I'm automating all of this. Not the podcast, but automating the orders being filled. That's going to have to be automated. Help the products freaking sell. I mean, part of me is like, this is reselling, and then the other side, that once I eventually build up this side to get to the hemp related products, I don't know if that's going to be reselling. I think I'd rather, brand, but I don't know. I really don't know yet. But this is what I like to do. I like to create stuff. I like to have projects, work off of them, learn. It's just a lot. I'm really going to have to make a schedule. Like, I kind of laid out what's going to happen between now and next week. But, it's going to have to show results. Otherwise, it's going to be hard if I'm not having an income off of it. Not like a livable wage necessarily right away, but like there's got to be a return on this investment. If I break even, I'll be glad. If I can analyze a way to break even if I'm not breaking even right away, if I can kind of see the trends and plan it to break even by a certain date, I'll be comfortable with that. But I don't want to put negativity into it. I pretty much trust my judgment. The people that have been hired out, I mean, the work that they showed me, if it's really legit to what they showed, then, you know, it's gonna be fine. Because they're doing all the back end work for now, which I don't want to do because it would take me like the rest of the month to do that. And I was like, I'd rather just hire somebody out to do it so I can get rolling this week versus wait till February. Because, you know, if I wait till February, that's a lot of time during the testing phases that, you know, like I'm trying to get this I'm working in quarters pretty much, so, you know, by the quarter, I want to be able to, you know, pay off the tax parts of things, so that I don't have to do it all at once. Because I mentioned before, I had that bad experience with like eBay sales and stuff where it was like, when I saw how much I owed, I was like, oh my gosh, like that's the most I've ever owed in taxes, like, because I wasn't taking anything out at all. So yeah, I'm trying to be smart about it. I mean, I've done things before where I wasn't smart about it and went all like excited because I knew I was getting some form of a return without tracking any of it. And then, like I mentioned, I was just partying, so it was literally my party money, but I totally didn't think about, oh, I owe on some of this income. It didn't seem like a lot, like, you know, like about $100 a week for like a couple sales. That wasn't a lot, but it would get me through pretty much a whole weekend of just running around town. 100 to 200, and that's a lot to spend when you think about it. I was spending over $5,000 a year just going out locally. I wasn't like going out of town or anything. So, but to me, you know, that keeps me driven too. I'm not very good at just being a complete hermit. Like, I gotta go out at least once a month, if not once a week. That kind of keeps me a little more, you know, I feel a little more balanced, but it is definitely an expense. And, you know, I've kind of calmed down a bit just because it's not as convenient where I'm living right now. I can't just easily go run around, but I'll be in San Diego in 2 weekends. That'll be good. And I'll be up in like near the Angeles Forest end of the month, and this weekend I'll be in Long Beach. So I've got 3 plans in the next 3 weeks, and then yeah, I'm working my way through this plan. I think right now I'm kind of just doing what works, doing what I feel like. But you can tell I'm not like super organized. I will get organized once I kind of know what this looks like. I'm organized in a way because I'm working on little bits and pieces of stuff. But yeah, so I'm gonna get to work on this and then take a little break with the fam around noon, and then get back to working on this. I probably won't be up all night. I didn't drink that much coffee, and I did have it earlier around 9:30 instead of like 2:30 or something. And then I'm just going off of this current energy, and then I should work out tonight. My leg feels better. I don't know what the heck was wrong with it yesterday. I like pulled a muscle on my left. It was like an upper thigh groin muscle pull on my left leg. I don't know why or how, but I'm just noticing it doesn't hurt anymore. Like, so I don't know what that was all about. So I think I could probably manage some yoga. I like yoga flow type videos, or like the capoeira yoga fusion type stuff. But my biggest challenge right now is to keep myself focused and organized. That's not one of my strong points. I like to bounce around between different things. I do think I have at least a little bit of ADHD, but it also is the caffeine too. So I just want to sit here and get stuff done. But yeah, I hope this is motivating for people at the very least. I mean, people who have been listening on here for a while, I've been talking about work for how long now, venting about how burned out I've been, and excited to do something different. And this is just one phase. I mean, I'm once I get the certification, I'll be able to apply to kind of like work for a company. But at the moment, this is also going to be part of my portfolio, which is why I want it to go well. And even if, I don't want to put that out there in the universe, but even if it doesn't go well, I want to use the job to learn, to make it work well. The hard part with tech stuff is that it changes. And so the amount of energy and time it takes for me to learn this now, if I go into a job and start working there for like a year or 2 years, and then I come back, everything I'm learning right now, like how to do these TikTok ads, the ad copy, the web design, the, I don't know, tracking trends, the analytics, who I hire, how much, their rates are, the whole method of the sales cadence, the, planning of, like I mentioned, like how many views, how many store visits you need to equal a certain amount of sales, to equal, and which populations you're targeting and which items are popular and trending. All that changes in a blink of an eye. Whatever I'm selling now, nobody might care about it in a year or 2 years, 3 years. The item might upgrade and it might be a later version, and we might be on version 3 instead of version 1, and there might be different technology added. So, it makes me a little hesitant, but this is definitely part of my portfolio. I've also got a LinkedIn marketing project, marketing a program. I need to get some of it approved. I need to work on my LinkedIn too. So I'll put LinkedIn on my list for today. But yeah. But this is a good kind of tiring because it's self-induced. I aim high, have a lot of stuff to do for one day. But it's fun. I mean, this to me is how I have fun. I enjoy this. Like I mentioned, there might be roadblocks coming up, and that will be tiring. But I'd rather do this than have multiple people bombarding me with their problems and concerns all day, every day. This is just focusing on numbers. I have like a bit of an analytical mind, so I really enjoy, like, part of the fun for me is just the analytical process. Like, if you change this, what changes on the other end? What does tweaking this thing or adjusting this thing change in the result on this end at this time, for this method, in all the areas. And, I think I'm weak on social media knowledge. My strength is small sales like eBay, Mercari, OfferUp. My weakness is TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Actually, I'd say I have a strength with Craigslist. Craigslist is pretty straightforward. Writing ad copy is pretty straightforward. Marketing through Craigslist is very straightforward. I used to do these Cash App. This is the last thing I'm gonna say, but I used to do these Cash App ads where, if somebody joins Cash App through your link, you both get $5. This was like back in the day. I don't know if it even exists. So I would just be posting, like, spam the crap out of Craigslist, and I would have like different written types of ads, and I would just post them for different cities, for different times of the month, for different places. I would post them all over the place. I would make the ads, get the links, post the links all over the internet, and literally it made a lot of money. Like, not like thousands or anything, but in the hundreds. Like, I would just do this. I'd just be like, okay, if I can get one purchase, after like 10, posts, then to get, if about 10 posts gets one purchase, then I need to make 50 posts to get, 5 purchases in the same region, because it's Craigslist, so it's like a regional thing. And I would do that. I'd be like 5 posts. So let's do 5 posts, and then I do like 5 posts, and then it's like 5 posts is $25, and then I would do it again, like repeat, and I would do it like every day, not every day, but like multiple times a week. And I tested to see which areas, like New York, Chicago, whatever, like different parts of cities like that, on which days would be the best. And people would just they would, add the link, and then I don't know if I maxed out at a certain point. I can't remember. But those types of things, like the little like affiliate type programs where it's just real short, like there's no real buy-in. You're just like, post this, post, like, but I used to do stuff like that, and it's like win-win, like you add through my link and we both get $5. I mean, it's free. Like, I think you'd have to pay for the Craigslist posts. I can't remember. I think they were like $1 or something. But I'm like, dude, like I would do stuff like that. It was like, but a lot of it was like a learning experience. Like $25, yeah, it's not like the most money on earth. But, to make $25 in like 1 to 2 hours, I mean, that's not really that hard. It's just, who wants to do that, like, when you can just work at a job and it's just straightforward. There's not a lot of guesswork, because sometimes you don't make the money, or sometimes you'll make way more, and so it's not super predictable. But yeah, it was I had fun with it, because it was like I wasn't spending any money, I was spending time. So when I would have time, I would do that. And it wasn't like sustainable. It wasn't something I was trying to do as like an income stream, but it was like, if I need quick money, like, post 50 things, and like, you can get like $50 easily in a couple hours. Like, I don't know if you can do that anymore, but I would do stuff like that. Like, I would just think about things and just be like, okay, like, here's this thing that makes a little bit of money. What happens if I do it over here and do this thing or do that thing? And it was more about the experience, not so much the money. Right now, it's building my portfolio and the learning experience, the hands-on experience. But I do like marketing research. It's kind of my vibe. Research in general is kind of my vibe, but I like the money aspect of it. I was more like in the social sciences realm before, and I like that, but it didn't ever directly benefit me, other than that the projects were really, really, really fun. Like, it was basically just like, you just get to geek out on whatever you really want to learn. Like, I really loved that, and I had, like, the best time. But I wasn't in competitions. It's not like I was getting money for all this. I mean, I would get a little money, like, for research labs, but I wasn't working, like, 8-hour shifts. It was, like, a few hours a week here and there, until the project was done, or until my role with the project was done. So it was very temporary. But anything research-based, I always like. It's always exciting for me. You could probably hear that my tone, I mean, I'm talking quietly, but my tone with this style of working is a lot more interesting to me than what I was doing before. Like, intellectually, it's more exciting. It's not so emotionally draining. There's definitely room for scams. Not me scamming people, but for people to scam me. So that's what I'm trying to be cautious on. And yeah, but alright. I'm actually gonna stop talking and post this and get into doing what I need to do. And with that, thanks for listening.